Assemble the IncrediGrill. Take the stand and start with the axle rod. Put it through the axle holder and put the two tires on. And the tires just barely sit off the wheel, off the ground, and provide a nice steady base so that there's no pressure on the tires right now, but as soon as you tilt it, it starts to roll. And you'll see when we have the whole grill assembled, it's a nice feature to be able to just move it and roll it wherever you want. The tires are nice and big and they're pneumatic, so they'll go nicely over even wet grass or sand. Alright, then you take the top, and the top has a front and a back to it. The back wheels, where the handle is, are the back, and the front is the opposite side. And this is the thing, just push it down, and now it's. But now when you tip this, you can see how it rolls. The dual ring burner gets inserted, and be careful because this is porcelain coating. It's very durable, but still you want to be careful. Insert that so that it sits on the three rests, and that's all you need to do. Now that has the dual ring burner pipes coming out through the front, and then you have to reassemble the pipes. So we're sending them to you unassembled. You take the valves oriented so that the holes can be located when you put a screw there, and then this has a little spring to it. You just got to pull it open a little bit and then line up the holes with the holes for the screws. Slide on the cover and then just lift up the label and put the screws in, and you'll have a bag of screws for things like that. Alright, last burner that we install is the fast burner, and it goes into a slot in the windscreen. And then I usually take a tool, a screwdriver or something, and locate the bolt holes. Okay. Once you have the bolt hole located, just tighten it, and there's 3 bolts to tighten. I'm just going to tighten one. And that's it. So you got the grill assembled, and you're ready to put it wherever you want. Now I'll show you some of the configuration for the grill. First one, we'll take the accessory ring, put it in place on top of the top. It sits on these rests. They're welded into the top. And then you got the accessory ring locked in place. Take the wok stand, put that in place. And then you can slide this wherever you want it standing. And you got the wok done. And this would light it, and then you got the wok done. And then another configuration would leave the accessory ring on, take the wok stand off. And this is called the Mongolian barbecue plate. You can cook it like that, and this gets searing hot. Cook food, vegetables, chicken. It's like it's a Mongolian barbecue, and then you can keep them warm on the outside or serve them directly to your guests or to yourself. Put the wok back on, wok stand back on, and you have a nice wok stand when you want to concentrate the heat at the bottom of the very large wok. This large wok we also use as a lid for the IncrediGrill, but in this case the lid is turned into the wok, or the wok is turned into the lid. In this case it's the lid turned into the wok. And you can wok with this with a lot of heat concentrated at the bottom. And then with the different sort of wok cooking, like if you want to have not a stir fry, but maybe either a deeper fry or boil or steam. I mean, for some stir fry, you want less of the heat concentrated at the bottom, so this would give you a larger ring of heat zone. And then ultimately you can take the accessory ring off and I have 3 burners controlling heat all the way from up here, here, and here, and you can have a 3-zone wok, which for a lot of cooking is a really nice thing to have. Take the heat spreader sear plate, put that in place, and then it depends on your taste. Some people like to have a little bit of smoke, so even if you just put a few chips when you're grilling a steak or making a hamburger, it just adds a little bit of smoke, but not an overpowering smoke. And if you want a smoker, you can put more chips on, or you could do it with no chips at all and just get the charcoal taste from the fats and the drippings from the meat. The sear plate can get up to be hot enough where I think it's an infrared cooker. It gets very, very hot. You can put food directly on it and just put a quick crispy crust on it, or you could put a grill, and you'll be getting a 17.5-inch cast iron grill that's being shipped directly to you. But this is an example of a stainless steel grill, and you've got minimal flare-ups, but you still get enough of the smokiness from the meat drippings firing up and coming back up on the food, and it's a great way to grill. You can take the same basic structure now, and when you have the grill, there'll be grill supporting hooks that you put on here, put the grill so it suspends over the surface by 4 or 5 inches, and then you've got a nice oven effect. Now you can put a pizza stone on it or just cook directly on the grill, but now you've got much more indirect heat. And for the lid, you put the large wok. And if you want, I sometimes put leather gloves or something on here to make it more insulated, but it seems to work fine. But that's one thing you can do to keep the insulation going. Then you can put that up like a lid. Actually, we won't have these for another month or so. Configuration with the 3 concentric burners and this heavy cast iron griddle. You have a nice, and we're going to leave it in the package to keep it from getting scratched up, but you get a nice flat cast iron surface to do cooking that goes beyond the normal grilling. I mean, that's a great pan to make breakfast on. And then something like this, where you've got this nice big surface, but it's got the ridges. We'll put the drill marks in, but also it gets the food off of the cooking surface, and you get the drippings to come out, and it'll make it a little bit crispier too sometimes. And then this will become available soon, and this is an extra large griddle, making this a very large hot top, flat top. And you've got, if you can picture it, you've got the one burner here, you got the other burner here, and then you got the fast burner here. So you can have 3 different zones of heat, and you go from hot to the center, hot at the center, cooler, cooler to the outside until this is just the warming area. Or for other cooking techniques, you might want a hot band here where you can sear the steaks, and then more room to do different vegetables and things like that. But that's another application with this big griddle. So that's it. So then we'll do, let's just...
Okay, you also have a paella skillet cooker that fits right into the IncrediGrill. Just like that. And then if you want to make a smaller paella for less people, you put this assembly ring in, fit it in there, and then you just put the smaller paella cooker on. And also we can could put a pot such as this nice heavy iron pot on for pork and beans or a large huge soup. And lastly, I want to show you that we can, here's the last